I'm going to give Demaryius an edge here. I can't do it statistically. I can't really even do it with the eye test because Dez clearly, to my eyes, is the more explosive, sensational athlete. He makes more sensational catches, eye-popping catches, than Demaryius does. But even though Demaryius started off slowly because he fought through an injury in his rookie year going into his second year, he is just as big, just as strong, just as powerful, and just as fast as Dez is. He's actually a more graceful athlete to me because he does it so efficiently. He is a flat-out stud. I trust him more on the field and even more, a lot more off the field. We know about Dez's issues. Not any huge issues, but this one and that one and this little incident leading to that little incident leading to this one. Had some issues with his mom that we hope he's gotten resolved. And finally, in the big picture, Stephen A., that character or lack of off-the-field character, maybe even football character, sometimes comes back to bite Dez. Sometimes he doesn't make the clutch play. Remember, he couldn't get his feet down on the catch that would have beaten your Giants and that huge comeback by Romo and company last year at Jerry World. Drew Pearson himself, the greatest Cowboy receiver, said, you know, he should have gotten his feet in bounds. And this year at Kansas City, a game I thought was kind of an early turning point for Dallas, Dez had a flat-out cold drop in the fourth quarter that could have broken that game open in favor of Dallas, the visiting team. Demaryius just sweetly makes catches, efficiently makes catches the way Jerry Rice made them. He made them look easy, and so does Demaryius. And I will cap off my argument by saying Demaryius might have made the greatest catch of my viewing career when he caught that 80-yarder thrown by that ex-Bronco quarterback.
Is that his last
What's his name?
Tim.
Where is he now? Tim Tebow. Remember that one? 80 yards right down your throat, Stephen A. Smith, to beat your #1 ranked Steelers in overtime in a playoff game. Way to go, Tim Tebow.
Stephen A.'s over it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
Well, I don't blame you for not being over it, considering the fact that the boy's not even in the NFL. I mean, you got to hold on to memories.
You got me right now.
But I will say this. Demaryius Thomas, obviously he's just as big, just as strong, just as fast. I get all of that. And I didn't know the question was pertaining to the off-the-field baggage because that's obvious. When you look at Dez Bryant, that was the thing that was counted against him. If it wasn't for the off-the-field baggage, a legitimate argument could be made Dez Bryant would have never dropped to 24th. And so when I look at it from that perspective, clearly if you're bringing in off-the-field stuff, you may have a point. But statistically, it is what it is. The eye test, it is what it is. Dez Bryant really goes and gets the football, particularly in the end zone. It's something that Michael Irvin was alluding to, or has alluded to on many, many occasions. I'm not taking anything away from Demaryius Thomas. He's a stud. He can play. But you know something? The numbers you've accumulated over the last year and a half, Peyton Manning's been throwing you the football. And by the way, I know that I call Aaron Rodgers a bad man and the best quarterback in football. I'm just talking about his talent and long term. But this year, right now, Peyton Manning is the best quarterback in football. He's playing better than Aaron Rodgers, playing better than anybody. So I don't mean it in that regard. But Peyton Manning is a bad man, and he is balling, and he feeds Demaryius Thomas that ball. What did Demaryius Thomas do when Tim Tebow was throwing the football? He had 551 yards receiving. 551 yards. Peyton Manning comes the very next year, and it almost triples. 1,434. Almost triples. Okay? But who's throwing Dez Bryant the football? It's Tony Romo.
It's pretty good.
Who is Dez Bryant playing for? It's the Cowboys. Pretty good ain't Peyton Manning. Pretty good ain't Peyton Manning with the multitude of weapons that he has available to him in Denver's offense. Pretty good is not Peyton Manning as your de facto offensive coordinator. Okay? Dez Bryant doesn't have that. Dez Bryant's working with Tony Romo, by the way, a dude that they give $55 million in guaranteed dollars to, and then they say, would you please come to the film room? Would you please come to work early and leave late? Would you please do those things for us? Would you please have more say in the offense? Would you please take more of an authoritative role? Could you do that, please? Could you make us a favor? Please, pretty please, with sugar on top. This is what they had to do with Tony Romo. That's what Des Bryant is working with. So I don't want to hear about Demaryius Thomas. Put Demaryius Thomas in Dallas in that situation, and let's see what he does. His statistics already don't measure up to Des Bryant now. And that's what the situation being what it is. Now switch teams. Put Des Bryant with Peyton Manning and watch what happens.
Please do, because you know what would happen? Demaryius would have far more catches and yards than Des would have right now if they switch places. That dude in Dallas, Texas is Des Bryant. He is #1 targets for Tony Romo. They are going to get Des the football. Yes.
Who's Jason Witten? Who's Jason Witten? How many balls have Jason Witten had thrown to him over the years? Are you kidding me? Des Bryant hasn't been a #1 target for Tony Romo up until this year.
Who's the money target?
Please, it was Witten. It was Jason Witten.
They go to Des. In Denver,
I'm not trying to say they don't go to Des now because they don't have a choice now.
Yeah, but come on.
Witten lost a step.
I mean,
Miles
Demaryius
Austin is always injured, and there's nobody else to rely on.
Yeah, but
don't give me that.
Oh, come on.
I want to hear that.
Wes
not the
Welker,
same.
Eric Decker. I can go on and on and on. Julius
and
Thomas.
Des Bryant in Denver would wreak havoc.